So in this video, we're going to give you a list of 4 things that you've got to focus on to turn your business around in a short period of time and go from where you've been averaging and hit those higher numbers, but in a short period of time. The very first thing that you've got to do is you've got to understand what it is that you want to achieve. So work out your income goal and work it backwards to understand what are the numbers that you've got to hit that income goal. How many OTPs do you need in 90 days? How many mandates are you going to need that can convert into an OTP in 90 days? How many appointments have you got to go on to convert into mandates, to convert into OTPs in that short period of time? Work it backwards from the number that you want to see yourself achieving in registered commission, and you can work that backwards into the activities you've got to do in 90 days.
I think that's key, the activities that you got to do. Everybody focuses on what they want versus on focusing on what they do. Remember, this is a value exchange. You've got to be more productive. You've got to be of more value to your client base in order to earn double what you earned last year. In order to earn double what you earned last year, it's pretty simple. You got to do double what you did last year.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that everybody doesn't get, is that this is income producing activity measurement.
Yeah.
You've got to be measuring every single day what it is that you do, what brings you income, what doesn't bring you income, small little things like working with motivated sellers.
Yes.
Beginner agents spend so much time on people when they have never even asked them, why are you selling and when do you need to be moved by? They spend their time on tire kickers, people that are testing the market. So any advice? I would say you've got to have a solid plan of what your income producing activities yield, and focus on clients that are committed to you, and focus by databasing those sellers into an A, B, C, D in order to really work with motivated people that are committed to you.
Okay, so let's chat about, because that's the first practical step, is rank your database, A+, Bs, etc., etc. What we're trying to illustrate here is you've got to understand who are your priority clients. So let's chat about how does an agent identify those A++. Agents like to use this phrase, I work on sellable properties. I'm going to give you a slightly different thought. I want you to think of sellable sellers. Rank your database by the motivation of your clients to move. The people that are most motivated are the people that are going to be most receptive to getting our assistance and to move forward. So take your whole database, rank them from A+, to Bs, to Cs, to Ds. Focus on the A+ and the A's and dive deep into their motivation. Like Ian saying, why are you selling? By when? If you sell by this date, why is that important to you? And identify a small group of people whose problems you can solve. So now we move into step 2. You now know who your priority customers are. Step 2 is you've got to dive deep and do a needs analysis where you understand what problems we've got to solve for them in order to be able to move. They've said to you why they want to sell. Let's now project manage this process. Here's an example. Maybe they've got a daughter who's moving to university in a different city, maybe down to Cape Town. We've now got to move into problem solving mode and project managing for them to build a timeline for them. If you are looking to have moved down to Cape Town by this date, let's work it backwards. When should your properties have transferred by? When should you have found a new home by? For your property to have transferred by December, for example, when should we have an OTP in place? For that to work, when should we have your property on the market so we can start taking buyers through? So we've got to manage the process, and we've got to remove obstacles, and we've got to provide clarity to people so they know what their next move is.
I couldn't agree with you more, but in order to do that effectively, you've got to be an area expert. You've got to know your numbers. You've got to know exactly what has sold, what the buyers are prepared to pay in the current market conditions per square meter for a property that's comparable to the one that you're trying to sell. Working with motivated people that have real need to sell is one thing, but knowing your numbers and knowing your environment and being the expert, for me, is imperative, because there's the value exchange. If it was so simple, everyone would just simply do it themselves. So you've got to know exactly what is going on. I'm going to use Waterfall as an example. When I have a seller coming to me and saying that they want to achieve 27,000 Rand, and I know that at the time 18,000 Rand per square meter was the high for a corner unit on a green belt. There is no way that the market would support 27,000. Now, some agents may just roll over and say, okay, well, I'm going to take the listing on and then I'm going to take a whole lot of time to try and educate the client. If you understand that the client has a real need to sell and the market over a short period of time will bring you the data that you can measure, that you can show the seller. You know, sellers all think that their homes are worth X amount because they're emotionally attached to them, and that's fine. What we've got to do, in fairness to the seller, is we've got to educate the seller based on facts that we have at our fingertips because we are the area experts, to get them to price the property within a band to create a big demand so that you actually achieve a solid value for the property.
Absolutely agree. The people who have the highest motivation to sell are the most receptive to the information that we share around exactly what needs to happen to get to that property to sell. And 9 times out of 10, the what needs to happen is pricing the property correctly.
Controversial statement. Real estate portals are kind of like dating sites, right? The longer you're on the market, the more people wonder, what's wrong with you?
So for you as agents, if you are wanting to turn your business around in 90 days, what you've got to do is focus on clients who have the highest motivation, pain point, reason to sell, so that when you present to them the plan of how we sell your home in the shortest amount of time, by listening to what the market is saying to us, they will be receptive. Do that one thing right, and you can find yourself working with less clients, but having a much better closing ratio.
Yeah. And in certain markets, pricing is so important to create a buzz around the property. You know, overpricing a property, just no one even reaches into that listing and wants to come and see it. If you're at a listing and there's 10 or 15 people and they're all looking at the property because it's priced within that band, there's statistics that will support that a property that is priced properly will achieve more over a shorter period of time than overpricing a property, because it just creates this
test the market.
People aren't interested in it. People walk into busy stores, guys.
The last step that I want to share with you is get buy-in. You can have all the knowledge, you can have all the spreadsheets, you can have done all the work, but if I can't get my client to sit next to me and feel that we are on the same team, I'm not trying to do you in. I've listened to you. If you've demonstrated to someone that you've really listened to them, even if you disappoint their expectation in price, maybe it's not what they were expecting, but if the prescription that you've given, if the solutions you've given have come from the fact that you've listened to them, if your sellers feel heard in the consultation process, they buy in better. When your clients buy in, they're working with you, not against you. Have you ever observed some agents and their client relationships where there's day-to-day this tug of war? Maybe the transaction does end up happening, but clients aren't happy in the process. We've got to get buy-in.
Yeah, 100%. I think people also look at agents and say, well, what is my property worth? At the end of the day, it's worth what someone's prepared to pay for it in the current market conditions. So pricing is key based on historical data, creating a busy environment where buyers have a fear of loss so that they are prepared to pay what that property is worth is key for me. Overpricing just creates, no one's interested. They've watched this property sit on the market for 6 months. They automatically think, what's wrong with this? Why has no one, slapped it up? So yeah, I think pricing is really important. Understanding the wants and needs of your seller, obviously massive, and having a motivated process.
So take your income goal, work it backwards into the numbers you've got to hit. Dive deeper into your database and rank your clients by their motivation to sell. Do a needs analysis and dive into the why they are selling, dive into the pain points, and be a project manager for them. Work out the plan that gets them to their end goal. The more you provide clarity, the more comfortable they feel to sign. Even when you deliver news they might not want to hear when it comes to price, if you show them that you've listened to them and you are solving the problem they have explained to you, and you've listened and you've heard, they tend to buy in. Get buy-in from your clients, and you've got clients for life.
So I want to just talk to that as well, because we manage agents that are the best in Gauteng. People at different levels. As I said, everyone's running their own race. But in real estate, agents get to a point where they're saturated. They can't run more appointments. They can't do more show houses. They can't be listing more properties. What I've always said to agents is you've got to rank your income producing activities from high to low in terms of importance, and delegate. Create a buyer agent as an example, and delegate so that you can scale those income producing activities in order to take yourself to the next level. I think agents spend far too much time on doing things at a high level when they're saturated and they're really good at what they do. They should be farming out. Let's say they do the top 5 things,
priority,
and they farm out the next 5 to people that they can delegate to in order to create scale.
Absolutely.
You can't run with 160 sole mandates. It's not possible.
Stick in your income producing zone. Focus on the few prospecting activities that get you appointments. Focus on the few sellers who really need to sell. It's going to sound counterintuitive. If you're wanting to turn your business around in 90 days, do less of everything and do more of what matters most. Delegate the rest. Focus on the few things that really move the needle. Guys, leave in the comments whatever you'd like us to discuss next. This is ultimately for you.
Yeah, guys, if there's anything that you would like us to chat about, please comment and like below, and we're more than happy to discuss topics that you pop in the comments.